This is Algebra 1, Lesson 16, More Complicated Evaluations. We're going to be doing example 16.1. Now, don't be afraid about the title, the way they worded this, More Complicated Evaluations. We are just furthering what we learned in Lesson 14, and there's not anything else to teach. There's just several examples and some practice problems because it is going to get a little more complicated. So let's try example 16.1. We're going to put in these values. We've got the value for P and we've got a value for A. First, I'm going to copy down the problem with all of the parentheses in place of the variable. So I'm going to copy down this negative that you see here. And then I'm going to leave parentheses for the value of A. And then I'm going to have a bracket. And then I'm going to have a negative. I'm going to have parentheses for this value of A. And then since I have these parentheses here, and then I'm going to have parentheses inside of them, what your book does is it upgrades these parentheses to brackets and then goes back and upgrades this bracket to a brace. So if you're wondering where that came from, that's why. When you have too many parentheses, it can get a little bit hard on the eyes and a little confusing. So here we're going to leave some parentheses for the P value and then minus, and then we're going to have an A value. And I don't think I left enough space. So let me fix that. Okay. That is that value in there. And then we will have a brace. That's this bracket upgraded to a brace because we have more parentheses now. Now I'm going to go back in and backfill the value. So when I see a P, I'm going to put a -2. And when I see an A, I'm going to put a -4. Okay. Now I'm going to look at it and say, well, what can I do inside of here? What can I do? And I'm going to start on the very, very inside, which would be right here. Okay. So I'm going to copy these other things down. And as I do, if there's something that I can simplify a little better, I'm going to do that. Okay. So when I see this opposite of -4, that's too complicated. The opposite of -4 is 4. That's much less complicated. And then here I see an opposite of -4, and I don't want to do that. We're going to call that just 4. And then we're going to have a bracket. Okay. And when we have a brace, a lot less complicated now. All right. We have -2, and we are subtracting a -4. Or you can think of this as plus the opposite of -4, which would just be +4. Isn't that much less complicated now? So let's do this and copy the other things down. -2 plus 4 would be a +2. And then I can do this. And then I can do this. And I end up with +32.